Hi everybody, Laura here. So glad you're joining me. Today I am part of a 1,000 subscriber blog hop. We are celebrating Simon Hurley's great milestone of reaching over 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Here's a project I'm going to make. The theme of the blog hop is watercolor. So if you watched my video yesterday, you know I finally broke down and bought a bunch of Distress Mini ink pads in the little cutie patootie tin, and I had them out and I thought, what the hey, I'm going to use them again. They're just awesome to paint with. I've got some now this is not Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock. I wanted to try something different. This is that Arches, I don't know how you say it. I think it's Arches, and it's very, very high quality watercolor paper, very thick, and it works really nice with the Distress inks. And I'm using my little T-square ruler as a guide, and I'm just painting some thin stripes. And I use the ruler so I can get them nice and straight and nice and parallel. And I use a bunch of different Distress ink colors. I'll have links to all the colors below, but I started with Festive Berries. This one here is Abandoned Coral. And this next one is Picked Raspberry. I love these orangey red and pink tones. You know, I'm working the rainbow. Hello. And this is going to end up being a plaid, a very happy, bright, and fun plaid. Now, I've stamped quite a few plaid patterns in my day, but I have yet to paint a plaid pattern. Now, I've seen Christina Werner lately. She has done some incredible plaid patterns with watercolors lately. If you haven't check out her blog. Her plaid patterns will knock your socks off. And so I was excited to give this a try. I think the trick is to use just the right amount of water. You don't want it too wet, but you don't want it too dry. And you have to be very careful when you lift up that ruler that you don't smudge or smear the paint. You want to just keep it a nice sharp edge if you can. So now that I've used all my warm tones, I'm going to go ahead and put on some blues and greens and using my favorite. This is that new chip Sapphire. Gosh, I love that color so much. But I would say probably if I had to pick a favorite right now, it would be the, what's that called? Twisted Citron. That color right there is what I live for, Twisted Citron. But I do love this chip Sapphire. These new colors are just incredible. I'm loving them. So now we are going to go. You could stop right here and have fun stripes. If you want to do thicker stripes, use a thicker brush. Thinner stripes, you don't have to have such thick white spaces in between. There's just so many possibilities when you're creating stripes and plaids. I think that's why I love it so much. And it just seems so orderly and colorful. It makes me feel like I have control of my life, and my house looks like a bomb. Honestly, my house looks like a tornado just hit it, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, so I went ahead, I finished all those stripes going in the one direction, and I let that sit for quite a while, probably at least an hour. I hit it with my heat gun, but then I set it aside and let it dry because I learned this the hard way. If it's not really completely bone dry, when you go to paint your stripes the opposite direction, it really bleeds a lot and it kind of ruins it. I mean, unless you like that look, then have a heyday. But for me, it turned out awful. And I want to say this was probably, I don't know, at least my fourth or fifth try at this plaid design. It didn't come first kick at the cat, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of trial and error. I had a lot of mistakes, a lot of bleeding, a lot of smudging. I'd paint something that's not even parallel. My lines would be wonky, my spacing would be off, and I got lucky on this take. So yes, be encouraged. It takes practice. So here's the sentiment treatment. We are using this Blessed Word die. It's by Simon Says Stamp. I die cut about 4 or 5 of these, and I'm using my spray adhesive to adhere these all together, build it up, give it some nice thickness and dimension. It's a pain. It's sticking to my fingers. At first I tried doing Tombow Mono adhesive, but this word die cut is so dainty. It was like all oozing out the sides. I had it everywhere, so I thought I'm going to do spray adhesive. Listen, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what a pain in the booty it is to adhere these die cuts together, but really it makes all the difference in the world. It does, that nice thickness. Okay, so we've got this big add-on sentiment set. May your day be filled with. I don't want the be filled with part. I wanted to say, may your day be, and then I've got my blessed word die cut there. So it's going to say, may your day be blessed. So what I'm going to do is trim that little stamp right in half. I have no qualms about cutting my stamps apart. I do it all the time. I feel like it gives me more mileage out of my stamp set, but if it bothers you, you can always mask it off with Post-it tape. I've done that a time or two, and that'll work in a pinch. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to emboss this in white onto a thin strip of black cardstock. I do this a lot because the nice white crisp sentiment on the black cardstock is a real nice contrast to that bright plaid colorful background. It really draws your attention to the words. So if you've noticed, I do that a lot. I do a bright colored background, and then I'll pop the sentiment in black and white, hitting that with my heat gun, and all we have left to do is just adhere everything together. So I've got some fun foam because I want to pop up that whole entire plaid painted pattern. I'm using some 1-inch score tape. I'm trying different ways to adhere my fun foam. I've used Tombow Mono, I've used glossy accents. This time I tried 1-inch score tape, trying different things. And then I used some glossy accents to adhere my word die cut down, and then a little foam tape to adhere that little sentiment strip. Starting to get a little tongue-tied at this point. So last little thing, some little rainstones or moonstones or clear droplets, whatever you want to call them. And this card is finished. Congratulations to Simon. So proud of you. Make sure you check out his blog. He's got some awesome giveaways, great sponsors. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.